Soldiers, the official opening of Day 1 of the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair, the IATF 2025, took place. Under the theme, A Gateway to New Opportunities, the fair is bringing together African businesses, policymakers and investors to explore trade and growth prospects across key sectors. Organized by Flexim Bank in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the AFCFTA Secretariat, the occasion is billed as their premier platform to unlock opportunities for over 1.4 billion people across the continent. Let's take a look.
Shukran.
Thank you. Excellencies, dear guests, the IATF, a leading platform in Africa to reinforce trade and investment and economic integrity. It reinforces cooperation and reinforces the objectives of the African Free Zone. I call upon His Excellency, Mr. Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria, and the president, the chairman of the IATF.
Your Excellency, the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, Minister of National Defense and Commander-in-Chief of the People's National Army, I am here in my capacity as the chairman Advisory Council for the Intra-African Trade Fair. Heads of state and government and their representatives from Africa and the Caribbean. His Excellency Professor Benedict Orama, President and Chairman of Board of Directors of Flexim Bank. Her Excellency Ambassador Selma Malika Adadi, Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission. His Excellency Wankele Mene, Secretary General of Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. Executives from Flexim Bank, captains of the industry, our dear sponsors who make this event possible, Advisory Council members and my colleagues, partners, exhibitors, delegates, and visitors, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you all. and it is my joy and singular honor to welcome you to this premier trade and investment event in the calendar of Africa, the 4th edition of the Intra-African Trade Fair, IATF 2025, being hosted in this historic and beautiful city of Algiers from today, the 4th, to the 10th of September 2025. Permit me to express my profound gratitude to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, President Tebboune, together with his government, for graciously working hand in hand with African Bank, African Union Commission, and Africa Free Trade Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat on successfully convening the 4th edition of the Intra-African Trade Fair. Mr. President, we commend you for your leadership and vision in driving trade development of the economy, such as energy, healthcare, industrialization, agribusiness, technology, and innovation. Your Excellencies, the Intra-African Trade Fair has emerged as the most important trade and investment gathering on the continent.
Les CAF. Au fil des éditions passées,
the power to connect buyers, sellers, investors, innovators, and government from every corner of Africa, and now from every corner of global Africa. IATF has become the engine accelerating trade expansion and investment flows throughout our world. The previous 3 editions generated combined trade and investment deals of more than $120 billion. Mr. President, when I met you in July, you wished and promised to work to make this edition of IATF to be the biggest and the most successful. I assured you that we in the Advisory Council, the African Bank, the AU, and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat will work solidly with you and your government, with 48 African countries participating in exhibitions, the largest so far since IATF began in 2018. We have achieved one significant measure of the best. This is possible because we work together with you and your able and performing ministers, commissioners, and the entire team of Algerian workers. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to highlight some other measures of success stories that demonstrate the transformational nature of IATF generally and the fourth edition, and which the fourth edition will surpass. It was at the 2018 Trade Fair in Cairo that the largest intra-African EPC deal in Africa was concluded between Egyptian contractors and the government of Tanzania. The US $2.9 billion Nyerere hydropower project is one of Africa's largest energy infrastructure undertaking and was executed solely by African companies through a joint venture between Elsewadi Electric and the Arab contractors. The project is designed to deliver 2,115 megawatts of clean power and generate more than 6,000 gigawatts, securing reliable electricity for over 60 million Tanzanians. We believe we can have deals that will surpass that at this fourth edition of IATF. Your Excellencies, at this juncture, it gives me the utmost pleasure and the most fulfilling part of my role today to mention a hero who dares and delivers beyond measure. He shows audacity of courage, vision, hope, persistence, and performance. He promises solutions for his country, the continent of Africa, global Africa, and he actualizes those promises. Your Excellency, I thank you for accepting to make a presentation on behalf of us to President Orama, the man who started and who continues to drive the IATF. This man has done very well, and we cannot celebrate him enough. President Orama, on behalf of
Président Orama,
Advisory Council,
au nom du Conseil,
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude my welcome remarks and as part of today's opening ceremony, we arrive at a very special moment. The IATF is not just a trade fair. It is a journey across our continent and global Africa, carried forward by nations that share in the vision of intra-African trade and regional integration. Since its inception, the IATF has rotated across our continent, leaving its unique legacy and improving with each host nation. Today, we continue this proud tradition by announcing the country that will host the IATF 2027.
Thanks, Excellency Obasanjo. We ask you please to stay with us on the stage in order to watch a small video. نشكركم فخامة الرئيس.
Thank you, Mr. President, and we invite you to watch with us a video on the big screen to announce the coming hosting country of the IATF for 2027.